G'day traders, welcome to a brand new year, 2012, an exciting year it is, and this is the first blog for the new year. So this is Monday, 13th of February. So I've got the daily charts up here, and as a lot of people are aware that we've been heading up. This area here is the start of the new year. Basically, we've just grinded our way up, up and up, and we're sitting at 6-month highs here and just pushing those highs up and up and up. Got a small pullback here and we've been pushing up, and we're just sitting constantly at these highs. Makes for quite slow markets, as well as the fact there's a lack of announcements, and generally February is a quiet time of year anyway. But a combination of all those three things is making for slow markets. What you really want to see is the markets pull back and you start get back around this 1280 area, and that way the market has free range to move both ways, and that's where we'll start to see better moving markets again, and see these multiple ranges where we see 2-3 trends a day, rather than just some morning movement and then a very slow afternoon. So the daily view has been very much the same. Just what I do is look at the daily charts and pretty much have a look at the yesterday's high, and then a couple of days previous to that, the low. That's two areas where potentially the market could head to if it wanted to. Keep those in mind, and just very aware that we're in a buyer's market. We're up near the highs. Expect slower markets. But at some stage we really got to expect some sellers to come in. We're very extended upside here. All traders have got to be thinking at some stage sellers are going to come. So just waiting for those sellers to come at some stage. So bringing up the 1 minute and the 5 minute chart, just a bit of a different layout for this year. Rather than going over the 1 minute chart then going over the 5 minute chart, we've got both up simultaneously. So as we move along, you can see the crosshair moving along both charts at the same time. Obviously the 5 minute chart on the left hand side and the 1 minute chart on the right hand side. So many traders look at these charts different ways. Myself, I tend to focus on the 5 minute trade, 5 minute charts, and then look for the 1 minute chart for specific entry. And I know there's other traders that do it the other way around, where they look more at the 1 minute chart for the area, and then maybe the 5 minute chart for a backup. But either way, both charts are fantastic to watch, and we'll do a bit of a review each day as far as both charts are concerned. So you can see here we opened up at the start of the day, and then the market started to push down. So this is good news. On the right hand side over here, we pushed down through this first power point, then had a bit of a pullback, and then we pushed down and broken this area again. So indication that the sellers are around. That's what we really wanted starting to see. And then we pushed lower. Would have liked to have seen 3 power points on the same side hit. Then we got this pullback here. So on the 5 minute chart over here, you can see all of a sudden the predictive starting to cross to the upside. But clearly this moving average is pointing down, so we're looking for sell, definitely looking for short trades. And as the market pull back here, looking for the market to pull back its typical 3, 4, maybe 5 points, and then for it to push down and get a 5 minute sell on the downside. Did come, in the end it didn't work. This particular setup here wasn't, even though the area is pretty good, wasn't real keen on the actual trade, just because a lot of the other indices, in particular the Russell, was pushing up and actually making higher highs, and it was breaking, well, not higher highs, just breaking resistance areas, and looked like it really had an upside look to it. So in the end, it looked like a lot of the other markets wanted to head up, and that's something that you really got to take into consideration. So one was left alone, even though the area is not too bad, and you can see it failed. So it's worth noting, this particular area, this type of setup's failed a couple of times now, so it's definitely due for a winner. From there, like it's typically been happening, by the time lunchtime comes, not a lot's happening. But just to continue on the 5 minute chart here, that 5 minute sell failed. Then we pushed up a bit higher, pushed also the predictive cross to the downside, but by this stage the predictive's clearly pointing up, and you can see from this stage here, even though it had a bit of a pullback, the trend started to head up. So it's a great indication that this moving average 20 line does a really good job at predicting where the markets want to head. So by the time it's crossing down here, you've got to be looking at buys more so sells. But overall, this particular 5 minute fade, not the best one to take. We want to see a bit more of a pullback and take it more down here, where you got at least 2-3 point pullback, then look for it to push back up and go for the highs. Okay, so the market's pulled back a little bit, then it started to head back to the upside. The predictive's crossed up here, moving average is pointing up, so this is a bit of an opportunity. The entry is right on this swing high here to potentially get on the long side and take this market up to the highs. And that was pretty much the last of the opportunities for the day, and from there the market went very sideways. Looking at the same areas on the 1 minute chart over on the right hand side here. So this is where the predictive just started to cross to the upside, and then from there it's pushed up through that grey power point, and then you can see very much sideways to finish off the day. So overall, as far as the days go, opportunity. There's been some opportunities in the morning, and afternoons are very slim. But we'll keep turning up, having a look at these markets, and we're back to talk tomorrow about Tuesday's market.